Friday Lock.
It is ridiculous, deep in the dirty dungeon, bucking loving the way these rhymes keep coming at you, splash you, get your headpiece fractured with killer cuts from the drop you, slash you, rip shit up, got this whole Zen thing mastered. MC too good to be touched. Hamin bring the phenomenon a cobra clutch. MC's inferiorities, they froze up. As we move on, saga unfold, captivated by a saga that go untold, like Goldfinger, caught up in a cliffhanger, yo INS another code red, danger, bring out the vest, now it's tactical warfare, it's on here, come with the shields and hardware, it be on here, don't ever roll in the naked city, even your story's none pretty, bombing with the witty, unpredictable condition and be critical. Peace to 10, getting high on your physical. This next drink is a toast to your memory. When I go, how many infidels gonna remember me? And as high as we get when we light the fuse, it's MSG, it's Hacker Hamin waiting for the Chris Silvio AEW Dynamite review. Happy Father's Day, infidels. Y'all.
You want to get high? Let's do it. We're back for another edition of Light the Fuse. Big old intro there, Ben. You're ready to go today.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from because I was listening to Dion the Wanderer and shit. I saw the dungeon and sometimes my mind just gets triggered, man. So some Method Man shit that's imprinted on my DNA. So slipped on a couple words, but once it gets going, my mild OCD has to get it all out. But well, it's good to see you, MSG. Happy Father's Day. I'm sure you got some kids somewhere you're not claiming, but yeah, man, about to do the barbecue thing myself, but we got to give them the show, man. We are here to working on the weekend like usual. But yeah, dude, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good, bud. I'm your host, Nassim. The air is clean. Lighting up that green. Yeah, boy, MSG. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just hanging out here. It's a Sunday. Texted my dad early this morning. Said Happy Father's Day. Love you. He texted me back this morning as well. So
nice.
Everything's good. My dad and me are similar in the sense where like it's like we try to occupy our mind, I guess, and keep ourselves busy. So it's not like we're not keeping in constant contact because we don't want to. It's just because our dads are kind of busy. But I still try to at least, once a month call him. My mom, on the other hand, like every other day texts me. You know what I mean? So
my parents pretty much stay out of the mix most of the time, even though we don't live too far away. We always try and get together to do the big events like once a month or what have you, so it's been good. But dude, it's so hard to shop for my old man. He's got everything he wants, tool wise. He no more liquor in his older age, so used to be able to get a bottle of whiskey, none of that, you know what I mean? And fucking he's got everything at the palace. So you're like, all right, Lowe's gift card. It just seems so cold, but I'm just like, I wish I had the 3D printers fired up to do something, but I can't even 3D print because we're in the Udio with who you know, and fucking you can't hear in the background of every show we do. You know what I mean? So it's he don't give a shit. He's glad to bang a hammer and some nails, dude.
I feel it like I've got, it's hot and I've got the air conditioner on. I'm sure you can't hear it, hopefully. It's on in the other room. So I've tried to create a pathway to at least I'm getting some flow of forward air. Like if I open up the door even further, I know it's going to get louder. So like I'm just trying to like walk that line of trying to like at least keep it mildly cool in this area of the apartment. Yeah. It's a good Father's Day. I'm glad to hear that you're having some difficulties there purchasing something for your dad.
I went and got some great Thousand Island cheese curd locally, man. It's so good, man. Squeaks in your teeth. And got the side dishes. And my brother, the other prince, is bringing kebabs and all that shit. So we're gonna, have a good day out back by the pool and kick it. So I'm looking forward to it. But I was looking forward to this too because I've tried to bring myself down. I don't want to talk bad. We've had good exchanges with people that I've said things, not just but the perpetual I, the complete I of the internet, I guess. Good. Has said about everything that's going on. Go ahead and play your spike.
No. I'm sorry. That was by accident. I was trying to get the link because I'm sure no one's watching us live right now since we're on HMG YouTube. So.
Yeah, well, we're on twitch.tv/Hamin Media too. we're double streaming, but that's fine, man. I don't always need to be seen. Well, I do, I guess. But yeah, man. Sorry, where are we going? Oh, yeah, we had good response this week from the Friday locker room clip that did get banned from YouTube and pulled when Stevie was just talking about. I'm calling everything Vladi Divac from now on, and if you can figure out what Divac is, then so we don't get flagged on everything. But Divac, he's talking about NFL protocols for Divac, and dude, the whole thing got pulled, and then we got a strike through September on Ben Hamin, so I can't broadcast there this week. So Monday locker room will be here, NXT Next Level will be here, but it's whatever, man. Like this whole internet landscape is an insane lawsuit, First Amendment right lawsuit waiting to happen. At this point, you know what I mean? It's unbelievable. WWF, it's unbelievable. And yeah, man. And speaking of that, new Mandir animation for Master Shoot Theater. I just got it. I haven't even seen it yet. The first half, he's still working on the big one with Jason Sensation. So I can't wait to see that as soon as we're done here. But yeah, man, big doings and last night's show. What I wanted to go back to was we put over Braun in that clip, and I think it was Kaz that put it out. And shout out to the social media team, Matt and RBV and everybody else doing great work, Plaja. To put out some clips of positivity instead of just being critical, like constructive criticism and real talk. I'm getting drone.
You're getting droney there for a second.
Yeah, let me know when I'm back. So.
All right. So, of course, you're still droning. You're frozen right now.
Fuck. I see one bar on the online. They don't want me to talk positive, apparently.
There you go.
They don't want me to talk positive. But I say, to put out a constructive clip that's positive, and Stevie, straight from the heart, says, forget about all the other bullshit. How are you doing, man? Mentally and all that kind of stuff in the wake of this. There's, as you well know, are well versed in psychology, there's 7 steps after you lose your job that you go through. You know what I mean? That's just human nature built into our DNA from the Anunnaki. I don't know why they put that in there, but it was a true heartfelt sentiment. You know what I mean? And and I had mentioned EC3 and Rockstar Spud. EC3 retweets it with his own thing, promoting to his podcast, which great crossover. I'd even love to have EC3 on to be like, help promote, you know what I mean? What he's doing. And just a brilliant performer. And then Rockstar Spud and Braun both put a positive gif. I think one with Doc Holliday and one was a Mr. Miyagi gimmick. So, that feels good for the social media team. I get it, because we're out there to try and put our own brand out and talk about a product, but it's those successes. It's when Jack Prosobic retweets a Beautiful People clip and we get 33,000 views in 24 hours. It's when Oreo or Cinnabon is sending them stuff. Now it's when we're trying to create those conversations between social media managers that we don't really have contact with. We're trying to pop each other, showing that we're doing good business. You might shoot 100 shots and you might only hit the target one time on that, but when you do, it's an accomplishment. So good. And it's not just to be like, see, we got to them. I hope that made him feel better during the day, if he's in one of those 7 steps of post, traumatic, whatever it is from losing your job, like then maybe that brightened his day enough that day. You know what I mean?
He responded to it, the gift, and I didn't even think Drink Maverick replied to that as well. So
yeah, and what's weird is when you leave WWE, no matter who you are, you're like humanized into like an indie type mold, where and like that's a shell shock for some guys to handle and get over. You know what I mean? But they seem more approachable, because when you're a WWE star, you have to try and fabe everything, and they don't, and that kind of costs them too. But you're just looked at as like this fucking creature after you get there. I don't know. It's a weird stigma that shouldn't really exist, I guess, but yeah, it was a good going in the weekend, good morale booster and good work from the social media team at HMG, man.
Yeah, of course, guys. You can always check us out on Twitter at Hamin Media Group, at Instagram at Hamin Media Group, on Facebook at Hamin Media Group. You join the Hamin Media Group discussion on Facebook, which is the Hamin Media Group discussion group. So.
Well, and then my bigger point was I'm going to try and calm myself down because I got legit hot last night about a certain referee that. So some of it's not her fault because she's put in spots, and then others definitely is like just bad craftsmanship. And she's got all the ability in the world to do what she wants to, but there's an art to this shit. And the third player in a scene doesn't step out and become the main player in the scene. And a lot of times this is happening in these scenes. And yeah, so I was mad, but I'm trying to stay, in a way better spot, because why get mad over something when we can just give some good brotherly, good sisterly advice, hopefully, and, make a change for the better. That's all.
Make a change. Make
that change.
So of course, guys, you can check out the Monday Locker Room, which will be live tomorrow. I guess right here on Hamin Media Group, Twitch and Hamin Media Group, YouTube. Right. And look at y'all.
We get the Ben Hamin channel, which should be back by next Friday for the Friday Night SmackDown Live self-help group, because I was banned Thursday. So we'll see if they're a corporate entity of their word and allow me to stream again. Yeah. 13,000 fucking subscribers.
So you can check that out for all the hot news. Where I think it'd just probably be the easiest way. I mean, we can wait for Sil. We can jump right into the AEW.
Yeah, let's go, man. If Sil's got biz, man, I it's just a pleasure to have him here. I look at it as not that it's not working with you, but it's always just an added bonus for me. You know what I mean? Like, if he's here, he's here. And if he's not, that makes you want him more for the next time. That's the draw. That's Silvio, baby.
Well, I can't disagree with that argument. So let's get right into AEW Dynamite then. So tonight's AEW Dynamite, they had advertised this, I guess, shoot mixed worked cage fight.
Yeah.
We had a Wrestling Sons debut, a legend debut, having Arn Anderson's son Brock, as well as the handicap match. So we started off with the MMA cage fight, or you might want to just call this a regular, I don't know, shoot wrestling match, more or less, is what I felt like.
I don't know if it's a shoot wrestling match when guys are throwing step up fucking head scissoranas and shit. Like, that don't seem like shit. That seems like phony bullshit wrestling. I got a lot to say about this, and go ahead. I'll let you lay out your stuff, and then I'll come over the top.
So today I didn't take notes because I watched this morning, but I'm getting my results from sportskitty.com. You can also check out Vince Russo on there. So they had round one. We had Wardlow and Jake Hager they felt each other up. Hager and Wardlow kind of moved around the ring for the first couple of minutes. And then Wardlow, I guess, kind of took control, suplexing Hager, as you mentioned, wrestling style, but it still works in the MMA, onto the mat.
Yeah, no, that was all right.
He kind of gets on the ground and pound, but Hager manages to survive the round. So my only complaint in the first round here was when I think it was either Wardlow or Hager had one of each other up against the cage. I was like, oh, why isn't anybody throwing knees?
Yeah.
We're going to make this.
No Muay Thai clinch, no shoot knees.
I was like, why isn't anybody throwing knees? Something.
So let me back up to like two big things before we even break down the fight, okay? And I don't know if you saw the poll that I put out on HMG Twitter. We had SmackDown getting Hell in a Cell moved from the pay-per-view to the fucking SmackDown main event, which was great. It was a great match, but for no real reason, and they did it on a little Twitter war within 36 hours beforehand. The finish on that match is a new fucking like, I don't even know what type of choke it is. It's like a standing Dars choke. You know what I mean? That he does, and he can do it on Ray. It's not necessarily like a fucking guillotine. It's like a standing Dars, whatever. That's minor. And Hager's is that side fucking guillotine Dars, and except on the ground. That's so. The same, almost identical finish. Did WWE get the pre-taped AEW results stooge match wise and knew that they were kicking off with the cage match, had their format, whoever is inside stooging, and moved that match with that finish to happen right before it happened again, when people might turn the channel to hurt them while they got them on the ropes at under 500,000. That, I mean, I don't know the other reason why they would move Roman and Ray in a 72-hour span without being able to fucking really promote it, except to hurt them. It's a very interesting look to me. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting after you pointed it out, because initially what I had watched on SmackDown before we were conversing about the finishes was, I was like, wow, that was pretty cool finish by Roman. I was like, head of the table, took him out with a head move. I was watching at work. I was like, I like that. I was like, that works really well. And then, yeah, you said, oh, watch AEW. It's going to be the same finish. And I was like, what? So it was very interesting to see the parallels between the two. I mean, I think Roman made it look really good on Ray. So like, if you look better, like Roman made it look better. The move looked better itself.
Well, one is the real fucking thing where you have to make it look like a UFC shoot fight, and the other is phony wrestling, where as long as you sell it, everything is a fucking finish. Right. You know what I mean? So, but it's the why was that match moved from the pay-per-view to SmackDown that is the interesting thing to me.
Especially on a Hell in a Cell, like when you're advertising that as your pay-per-view match, right?
And you're going to give it away on Friday of your main eventer, unless that there's another way to look at it, not just like they're trying to fuck them, but they may have something else planned with a big comeback with Brock or fucking John Cena that they might do here. And if they don't, then I will believe that it was more of a shot in a Cold War shot fired to jump the gun on them to do the match better and a better finish. Then.
Yeah, it's very peculiar for WWE, or I'm sorry, for AEW to let that out of the bag if somebody's stooging.
Oh, bro, there's stooges. You're telling me that fucking Britt Baker isn't going to talk to Adam Cole, that fucking, like that. I mean, I'm not saying it's them. There's 50 pairings that could be, or it could be anybody who's a fucking, could be Dean Malone. Hey, who's the mole? That's an interesting fucking angle to play out, right? But like, that will they? No. But there's so many stooges there that want their job back from Vince that they'll fucking call with all the results, bro. He might even. What if Mark Henry's a double agent?
Interesting.
Like, there's all kinds of shit that could be, would be, could be, should be. Like all that, bro. Stooge pipeline is wide open, taking requests. Here's the problem with the match mainly. I mean, the cage looked awesome. They spent the money. It looked legit like UFC. Both guys are fucking beasts. Right. But dude, Hager's in there trying to throw strikes at like what should be 70%. They're looking like 30%, and so they're not looking like real MMA strikes. I'm going, we got a problem. And then they start doing wrestling spots. The power bomb into the cage side wasn't too bad, but step up fucking head scissors and all this other shit. We're rotten. I think fucking Wardlow missed a big opportunity to work Tony Khan, bro. If I was Wardlow, I would go, bro, we can't make this. Even in rehearsal, I would have made it. No, I wouldn't do bad business, but he could have made it look shitty so he could go to Khan and go, dude, this is going to look shitty if we try and work this. Give me 50 grand and I'll fucking fight, and I will let him knock me out for real, choke me out, whatever it is you fucking want to do. And I'll make it. If he's going over, we can't hurt his Bellator shit, because this match hurt his credibility in Bellator. And shout out to Hager. Anything can happen. I get blown up way quick too. But he was blown up in the second he had his mouthpiece out. I felt bad for him. Like, trying to think of it, you can get blown up overthinking things, so your mind isn't, working at the right pace that your lungs are. I think that's what happened while he's trying to work shoot, because the guy's a fucking cardio machine. He's a grade A athlete. He can probably go for 25 minutes. But when you're trying to think about it, and dude, I would have let them shoot, and I would have said, you're taking a dive at the second, have the ref call it when it is, fight when you can from underneath, and fucking don't knock them out, but shoot and say, I will let him choke. Bro, you could choke me out for 50 grand. Yeah, and it's not like Khan's going to go, okay.
That's like, the TikTok trend right now. Kids choking themselves out, and they're doing it for free. So stay on topic and get 50 grand.
I think Wardlow missed a little retirement fund spike right there, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if the boys are going to work the owners, that was when to do it, because this match suffered. What this match really suffered from is there, and I don't blame her on this part. First ever, why is Aubrey Edwards in there as the fucking ref, dude?
That was weird. Like, and in general, like, I think AEW should have gone out for one night and gotten a MMA ref.
Should have got Big John. Should have got the guy with the beard. Anybody, bro. Like, that was a terrible choice, because an MMA ref needs to be able to step in and separate people who are fucking going at it too hard. There's no way Aubrey Edwards, if those guys wanted to mash in the middle after the end of a round and have bad blood, that she's going to step in and say, get the fuck back, you know, and like stop them if shit broke down. And then what's wrong with that, even more so on this show, which a match we'll get into later, so I'll get my stuff in on her now. She's fucking separating, or no, she's reffing the match and way overselling and with the girls or whatever, you know. And what's the hot chick that Cornette had heat with? Penelope Ford, right? Yeah. She's got her in the Indian Deathlock and she's tapping out, and then Penelope Ford, like a heel, stays on it and doesn't break it. Aubrey Edwards first she taps her on the titty, which fucking made me laugh. And oh, that's a titty. And then doesn't try and like force the hands apart, right? In comes Varsity Squad to break it up and get, you know, her off of there. So Aubrey Edwards was gonna fucking possibly be able to break up Hager and Wardlow, and doesn't break up Penelope Ford and the little heart chick. She can't do that. Then Rusev comes down to fucking wreck shop, and she's holding Rusev back. Like Rusev's gonna be held back on a wild tear by Aubrey Edwards. Dude, it was the most like wrong use of referees I've ever seen on this show. And then even in the 6-man too, I think they bury the fucking other tall white guy bald ref in a really bad spot too, on a tag thing that was like, ugh. Man, this shit's got to be tightened up. It is really a big hole in their game, and whether it's them trying to put her out there, do it in the right spot, and if she needs to pull focus like she was in that women's match, bro, my eyes were on her more than it was the action. And it's just like, if she wants the spotlight and you want to put it on her, then put her on the roster and let her wrestle, dude, because this type of work is really ruining matches. And if I was a performer, I would be definitely having words backstage of what's going on when I watch my tape back, that you're stealing my spotlight and my shine with your overacting, and that you don't know you're supposed to be a ninja and be small and kind of come out of nowhere right at the right time, as opposed to like guiding a 747 in, which is what she's doing now. Or she's selling fucking bumps and shit, bro. Like really, really, like that's going to cause a problem in your locker room if you don't get that under control, because real workers know that how special that spotlight time is, and to even get it. And if somebody else is taking it from you who definitely should be laid out in the scene, man, that is a fucking explosive concoction waiting to happen. And she's got the spot. Let's dial it in and be the best we can at it. Not like I'm over and I'm going to fucking do what I want to do in this big grandiose way, man. It is really, really disturbing.
Yeah, so as you mentioned there, they had the second round there. We'll finish this up here. So that second round, you know, Wardlow did the power bomb and the Hurricane Rana, as you talked about there. You didn't like that?
Dude, when was the last time you saw Rana in UFC?
Not very often.
And when have you seen it from a super heavyweight?
Never.
Yes, thank you. So why are we doing this shit, man?
I don't. Well, Jake Hager defeats Wardlow by choking him out, and then after the match, there's a moment where Wardlow and Jake Hager are about to like give a respect type of handshake, but Sean Spears attacks Jake Hager from behind. After the match, Jericho tries to come out to his aid, but MJF comes out the back, locks in the Salt of Earth, and then Dean Malenko and several referees come out, and MJF strikes down Dean Malenko, and then Sammy Guevara comes out and chases him away.
I wanted to get hot about this too, but I was like, nah, because MJF can perform his ass off. There's no doubt about it. but the powder puff shot he hits Malenko with on the forearm was like and like missed by a good 1.5 inches, 2 inches. But I was like, oh, but then I was like, nah, dude, because I would do the same thing with Hacksaw. Right. Like, I wouldn't even come close to try and hit him just out of respect. You know what I mean? So at first I was like, huh, and I was like, nah, that's me too, bro. So the beat down in the business afterward was also kind of weird, phony, because when have you seen shit break down in an MMA ring like that? You know what I mean?
Nope.
No. So if we're going to do MMA, let's do it. And that's a draw. But when you try and mix all the phony bullshit into it, you just killed all the believability that you would have going into it. And this win didn't help Jake Hager. Now it's going to make Bellator. I don't know. I just don't know, man. There was a better way to do this, in my opinion.
I feel like there was a missed opportunity here for AEW where they could have brought in a guy like Mauro Ranallo or a guy like Mike.
Beautiful. That'd have been perfect. That would have been perfect. Mauro would have been great.
Yeah.
And that would have gave the credibility, and especially if they would have just worked it and fucking not like, oh, I'm going to hit you, you duck one, come through, da-da-da-da. Like, no, we're going to go spar at 70%. If I rock you, I'll just say I'm rocked, and I'll lay off and let you recover. But you're not going to know what's coming. Instead, they're like trying to go, nice teep, and the guy takes one fucking stomach kick and fucking sells back like it's a fucking Bruce Lee film, you know? Like, dude, just fucking go out there. And like you said, he had him on the ropes, no Muay Thai clinch, no knees, like things along those lines, man. Like
I'm not even an MMA fighter, but I've rolled around with my friends who are, in that field. And I even know just basic movement. If you're going to have somebody pinned up against the wall, then take the knees, get right in there, take those lips out.
Just anything like that to make the believability that Wardlow, who's a jacked pro wrestler, agreed to fight him in a real MMA fight. We got to have the real fight, dude. We got to have it. You can't do spots because we just made everything phony. And they had the whole setup to do all that. And I just feel like we're at 60% instead of up here. And, dude, WWE, that's the whole other interesting part to this is like, that's a big component. You know what I mean? Because you imagine if, like, you had all that plan and your show's set up and sent to TNT, and not that you couldn't recut it and cut the main to the beginning, so it'd give you a little more breathing room till you got to your cage match. That's about the only solution I could think of, but I think that was a real shot fired, bro, by them moving that match on SmackDown.
I agree, and I think that leads into this next match here, which is my complaint that the first match on the card, the MMA match, should not have been the first match. I'm sorry. I cannot go from this supposed to be real match to the next match where I'm watching the best friends help Orange Cassidy step up onto their hands where 3 guys are outside waiting to get jumped on.
Yeah, dude. Because what do they do in UFC for your main event? What do you see when the show starts?
You see, pre-video packages, you see interviews, and you see undercard.
Their hands taped up in the back.
Right. Yeah, interviews,
all those
coaches.
Yeah, we don't even need interview. We just need like 30 seconds of Wardlow. We need Hager hitting a fucking bag, fucking doing da-da-da-da, looking at tail of the tape, looking at Bellator highlights. Like, we got none of that. We got none of that. That's the whole show leading to the fucking main, bro. And instead, WWE burned them, bro. Burned them.
Like, and I don't even watch a lot of WWE, and I watched that Hell in a Cell match at work, and it was good. It was
damn good. Oh, dude, how can you not have good with Rey Mysterio and Roman Reigns? It's going to be fucking great.
It was a great match. I was like, wow, I was shocked. I was like, I'm into this match. So the next matchup here, as I mentioned there, is going to be later on Darby Allin versus the Man of the Year on AEW Dynamite. We had a handicap match. Unfortunately, numbers were, as they started off, were too much for Darby Allin. His work cut out against the both boys. But ultimately, in the end, Darby Allin won. What'd you think of this match?
Darby Allin won. I thought fucking it was heels up in the end.
Oh, they did? They defeated him?
Yeah, they went over on him.
I missed that, then I'm sorry.
But, dude, I don't know, man. Like, Darby is not embracing something. Like, he needs to really find his voice and turn up the volume, because it really, even with Ethan Page trying to pull it out of him in the beginning, it just felt forced, man. I don't know, dude. Like, we really need a spark, and we need to find what that is. Like this little, I don't know what you call it, fucking Nightmare Before Christmas zombie thing. You know what I mean? Like, he can keep that, but it needs personality behind it. He's almost more fucking nonchalant than Orange Cassidy is at this point, bro.
This is Halloween. This is
right. So I don't know, man. I think Ethan Page is great. I think all these guys are great, to be honest with you. But Scorpio Sky as a heel is like, you're missing it. The guy's a natural baby face, you know. So
I don't like this name, Men of the Year, because when you, and I apologize, you're right, Darby Allin won. I misread that. But when they write it out, results, Men of the Year, it sounds like it's saying Darby Allin is the Man of the Year. Or, so it's not anybody they're taking on is going to be Man of the Year.
Yeah, that's funny. They could get a lot out of it, dude. I mean, those guys got personality, but this match was kind of weird to have, and like at least heels went up here a 2-on-1 and they didn't get buried, so that's a good choice. Shows Darby has more heart than brains. That's an interesting game to play out. I mean, this loss kind of mattered, but like, you can set up losses for him that get him over more than they fucking hurt him using that game. More heart than brains. What can we come up with using that scenario?
Right. Then following that, then we had that Orange Cassidy match versus Cesar Bonini, and they had started off with like a little promo backstage, which with what they're calling themselves the Wingman here.
Really starting to frustrate me, Orange Cassidy. You're leaving me on red again. The Wingmen are getting angry, buddy. But guess what? We don't have a choice, because we're going to make you pretty.
Dude, I mean, these guys all have character, and they're hungry, and whatever you give them, even if this is the cornball, this is the BWO segment.
Yeah.
Right. So I love these segments when they're done right. And, you know, all those guys in the Wingmen are having fun. And that's all you need to do is act like Mean Street Posse or Spirit Squad, you know, like that, or BWO. That's where they are right now. So that's a fun spot to be in on the show when everybody else has got to go out and be, hey, go beat Pac. Oh, okay. I'm going to go over here and take one thing and fucking sell so I can become a meme. Like, that's what those guys got to worry about. You know what I mean? Not taking 87 false finishes. Fuck that. So, yeah, this is a good mix for the best friends to play off of. This is Little Rascals. This is all that shit. What can we take from old Little Rascals episodes and put on both of these teams, man? You know what I mean? Or even some old fucking Dennis the Menace type shit. You know, there's a lot of old scripts that we can reinvent and plug in these characters and split up one character into these three characters to do. So, yeah, Cesar Bononi did a good job here, man. Like, I think they put him in the deep end too soon. The guy's obviously a fucking superhuman athlete. Look at him. But he tried to do character with the character guys, and not his own, but get their character over. And then when they hit him at the end, he dead sold and one big old leg up in the air, and that was it. So this is a good spot for guys who are green or new to TV to be in. This feels a lot like Derby City Wrestling to me, because we had guys who were so green, myself included, in a lot of ways, that we had to get them over with character. And the more reps they got, they would outshine the wrestling, because people are more invested in their little story and these little Three Stooges things we can come up with. You know what I mean? So I actually like this segment. And when I've said for a long time, you got to use Orange Cassidy, but use them the right way. This was a better way of using them than I've seen.
So Cesar Bonini starts off his match by kind of taking advantage, throwing around Orange Cassidy a little bit, and big boot as well. Wingman, as I mentioned, caught Cassidy and tossed him back in the ring at one point. Best friends helped Orange leap over the top rope, taking out all the members of Wingman. I want to see if this works here.
So, friends.
There we go.
Gonna send Orange Cassidy flying. Oh, that's great.
That's not great.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So, and then we get back in the ring. Orange Cassidy dished out orange punches, taking out his opponent in the process, and then pinning him for the win. So the results of the match were Orange Cassidy defeating Cesar Bonini. I don't know. I wasn't really into this match.
You're not supposed to really be.
Okay.
Like, we just had a cage fight. We just had a heel win beatdown. We need to cleanse the palate with something waka waka.
Right.
This is the right match on the show in the right spot to make the rest of the show be able to gear shift from this. Okay.
All right.
This is like your neutral spot where you got to, like, all right, where are we shifting to next, down or up? So I thought this played well for me in the structure of the show.
All right. So following that, then we went to Kenny Omega confronting Jungle Boy backstage with Alex Marvez. And here's a little snippet from that here. I think I've got like a couple seconds here.
It's Jungle Boy and Kenny Omega on a very special Saturday night edition of Dynamite next week. Hoping to get a word with Jungle Boy. And hey, speak of the devil, Jungle Boy, great to see you. Congratulations on getting this
Here comes Kenny Omega. He runs in.
Sorry about this. I didn't expect this to be happening. I just want to get your thoughts on the match.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I interrupting something? Now, I can't tell if you're confused or just a little starstruck.
I don't want to go any further because we don't want to get copyright there. But essentially, Kenny Omega has this confrontation there with the Jungle Boy. He drives up in a golf cart coming by Don Callis. Michael Nakazawa tells Jungle Boy that he's embarrassed him on Dynamite last week, challenges him to prove how tough he is now. And he even offers Jungle Boy kind of a free strike at his face, tells him it was a one-time opportunity. And then just as Jungle Boy's about to take advantage of that, Michael Nakazawa attacks him from behind with his laptop. And then as Jungle Boy fights back, Nakazawa pulls him off, and Omega and him get in the golf cart and run away. Now, the only thing I really liked about this part, to be quite honest, is the end with Omega on the golf cart, just because it reminded me of like old school cartoons. I'll get you, Jungle Boy! Like, I liked that.
That part was all right.
That part was
dude. You're missing the big homoerotic part. How about the part in the promo where he's going, "We're gonna get in your ass. It's gonna be in your ass. We're gonna get your ass." Like all this, like weird, like, okay, we're wink, wink, nudge. So if you're not out of the closet bisexual, but it's inferred, you get to make gay jokes without fucking having any repercussions from the LGBTQ community. Is that what I'm understanding? As opposed to if Ben Hamin took a stance and fucking did that kind of stuff and they made it look a certain way, I could have the fallout. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a weird double standard, and it was bad creative because here's your champ, the unbeatable champ, and he needs Nakazawa to jump fucking Jungle Boy, and he punches him with dude, Omega hits him with the softest shot ever, picks him up to slam him, sets him on the fucking garbage cans, and then he rolls off to take chops instead of fucking boom until Jungle Boy finally lights him up. I'm just like, this is so wrestling phony when you're supposed to be the champ, bro. And like that this whole scene was waka waka right after we just got it in the scene before from the low stakes comedy players. Now your champ's doing the same stuff. Real bad look, dude. I mean, sure, that little go home part was funny and like they had it, but this is not where you can go, this guy's the best in the world. And like compare that scene to what Roman's doing, bro. Okay. Like, no, like it's not even close. It's not even in the same fucking ballpark, bro. One is T-ball and one's major league 95-mile-an-hour curveballs. Like, not even close.
Do you feel like if they had at least edited this backstage segment differently, it could have gotten over? Like, if you had edited in maybe more of a comic book style shading.
This is just some weird homoeroticism, bro. Is really what I take away from this. I don't know why they think it's funny to waka waka and do that shit and claim you're on top. Why not really be on top? Why not really, you know, there's some little more homoeroticism, but like, why not really fucking Omega has the skills to be the top guy like a Roman Reigns and fucking really get there. But we're wasting our time doing this stuff and not seeing the purview of like what this really makes me look like. That's not fucking taking care of business and being the best for the AEW title, man. That's like making a joke out of the business and making a rib out of the business. Not good.
Okay. Well, following that, we had our next matchup here is Cody Rhodes and the debut of Brock Anderson, the son of Arn Anderson, taking on QT Marshall, is what he wants to be known as, and Aaron Solo. And it was, of course, as we mentioned, the next generation of the Andersons. Brock Anderson picks up his debut win with Cody Rhodes and himself in a successful debut matchup here.
Work on the body part, right?
So, like, we've got Brock here.
He
gets in the match. My only complaint right here, and I'm going to pause it. So he hits this guy with the clothesline. And I just was like, I'm not even a wrestler. And I just thought the clothesline wasn't the best looking. But again, I'm not a wrestler. So I don't want to sit here and make illogical tweets. And it looks like, Ben, you might have frozen for a minute there because the position you ran were like, it was like an eye roll. But the match itself, I thought
my whole life is a perpetual eye roll.
Is that what it is? Okay. So Brock showed off his pedigree early on, I thought, forcing Solo to tag out. And then we got Anderson. He gets caught by Marshall with the right hand, tags and Cody Rhodes. They tag back and forth. These guys go to a commercial break, come back from commercial break. Anderson counters a powerbomb attempt by Solo and pins him to pick up the win for his team. So the only thing I didn't like too was I was like, man, we didn't get Spine on the Pine here at the end. And And when he rolled up, I was hoping that was going to be like his setup. I'm like, oh, that'll be cool. Maybe he does a roll up, picks the guy up, and then does the spine.
Dude, why would we not get the Arn Anderson spine buster here, bro?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the finish.
I know.
That is the fucking finish.
Yeah, spine on the pine.
Dude, I mean, you could put my first match up and it wouldn't be nearly as good as this kid's is. He's got a bit of a way to go body-wise. I like that he's got the same disease I have that at age, how old is he? 23? 23. Yeah, he looks like he's 44. Like, it was the same fucking way. So, like, it's good to buy beer when you're 17. But yeah, dude. So I like that he's got a look of a man. And there was things that like that clothesline that were like, but he's just getting warmed up and it's his first time on TV. Then he gets the dude in the corner and hits those those shoulders in, and he's switch knee. They looked fucking great. Those were the best strikes on the entire show, bro.
Right.
Like, so there's moments of like, okay, this kid's got something, you know what I mean? Are we going to use him the right way? And with Cody and that's a good build, but he's got to fucking really find some B12 or something, you know what I mean? But dude, the fact that we did not finish this match with a AA fucking spine buster, I almost fucking kicked my fucking TV over, bro. I was just like, are you kidding me, man? The whole fucking match should have built to that. And then they should have thought it was coming and not tease it where like somebody gets out of it. But like start the momentum of like, here it comes, like in the middle of the match, and they get out of the way of it. Like, no, fuck you, bro. I know what's coming.
Right.
And then we go into our go home sequence, which should be duck one, come back. Cody does what? Blind tag, come in, flip two, reverse, come back through, spine buster, boom. 1, 2, 3. Feel that?
Yeah.
Like that's what it needed to be after. But we didn't. You get one chance to make a first impression, bro.
Roll up. Gotta roll up. Rolling.
Come on, B. That shit hurts me, man.
It wasn't.
And there's nothing. Even if I worked there, there's nothing I could do about it. You couldn't go up with Arn Anderson in the scene and go, Arn, why is he not going over with a spine buster? Like, no way, like that'd be the dumbest thing you could do politically. But like,
you can't go up and just say politely, hey sir, in the future, is it possible he does a spine buster, or is that something he's gonna do?
You'd be dead. You'd be dead in the water.
Ridiculous, stupid.
Yep. Welcome to professional wrestling.
No, it's just like everyone's trying to heighten the scene to make everything better. So I
know, bro. And how is that not happening right there?
I don't know.
The spotlight's on him to get the win. That should be the one thing that comes so natural to him out of nowhere, and it comes out of nowhere like a stunner now. That's how it should be booked.
Right. It should be booked like that, or like I mentioned,
that shit really. I mean, and this is phony sports, the art we love or what have you. But when opportunities like that are missed, dude, it fucking hurts my stomach, man. It really does. As a creative, You're never going to get that moment back. It's just gone. And that could have been something massive, historic, that could be used in footage down the road. Now we'll never have that.
Yeah.
We'll never have it.
And now that I'm thinking about how you laid it out, the duck one cover, pick up, spine buster, that's that
fucking tag, feet in, fucking boom. Cody bips the other guy off. He comes in, Rana fucking come back through, whop, boom, out of nowhere.
Thing, yeah, it's like the stunner, the RKO, right? When you hit that move, the pop, you get it. Oh, he hit him with it. Yeah, they missed it.
And people would, and then the whole crowd would know that that's it. 1, 2, 3, and they're counting with it, not roll up 1, 2, 3. You know, like dude, and Arn Anderson is standing right there. So how the fuck could Ben Hamin ever go up and be like, hey, dude, let me correct the fucking finish here. I'm not sure if, you know, you just got to you're just like, ugh.
So Jim Ross next up sits down with Andrade El Idolo. See, I pronounced it correctly this week. In pre-tape segment that aired on AEW Dynamite, Andrade was asked why he chose to sign with AEW. Former WWE star says the company had a lot of stars, but he was a superstar. Jim Ross asks Andrade which AEW title he has his eyes on. Of course, he mentions the TNT and the AEW Championship are on his radar. He ended the segment by, of course, going over his newfound relationship with Vicky Guerrero, saying, you know, she comes from a wrestling legacy family. I come from a wrestling legacy family, and we're only just getting started, and we've got surprises ahead for you. Interesting, production choices here for me, Ben. As I watched the captions, I was yelling at the television, why didn't they just use some simple stroke lines around the subtitles? Because anytime it was laid against that white shirt he's wearing,
no drop shadow, no nothing, bro.
Very hard to read. These are just simple things. Like I was like, why didn't that take? I was like, I do that in my videos on YouTube. Like
it takes less than fucking 5 seconds to do.
I didn't get
it
that.
takes less than 5 seconds to fucking drop that on there.
It does, yeah. So I was very confused. That was my only concern.
Oh man. Like, I don't want to hate on it because I know, you know, it's probably coming out of DDP Yoga and there's some dudes over there that I like, so I don't want to shit on them. And who knows what their workload is, you know. But yeah, I like the fact that they're doing these types of things, even with guys who have trouble speaking English. He speaks English a lot better than I probably speak, you know, Spanish. Right. So I don't have a problem with a dude if he's trying to, and even it's subtitle. I think that's more respectful to the international performers. Otherwise, you make them look like, you know, stereotypes while they're trying to play one thing. They're looked at as the fucking lawn maintenance guy or whatever, you know.
I gotta get the 9 jacks drop. Can we get that drop? Otherwise,
yeah.
They like Japanese. Exactly. That's how they end up, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, dude, that's what you come off looking at. So I like the fact that they protected him from a technical side. It's whatever. On NXT with, I can't remember the young lady's name now, but she's one of their Chinese talent. And they had her strictly, I think, in Mandarin. I don't know if it was Cantonese or Mandarin. I speak both so well. But they did the whole thing with subtitles. I'm like, that was good. That because it really, imagine me having to go to Japan and cutting my English promo in Japanese while I'm trying to remember if these are the Japanese words phonetically.
Titties and biceps.
That'll be the promo.
Yeah, that'd be the one. They were like, yeah, titties and biceps. That's universal, pal. But, you know, there's no way I could worry about the emotion of the promo while I'm worrying about the words. So making these talents speak in English and try and get the emotion over, dude, that's got to be incredibly difficult on them. So to not support them with the tech has been long overdue. And I'm glad that we're seeing it on both shows in order to do that. Or just let them talk in Spanish, bro. I watched all of Narcos, all seasons. I'm down with reading. I made it through Book It Club, motherfucker. I know how to read. So, like, for 90 seconds to let that guy speak in Spanish impassionately and really show it, then show me that. Well, I got no problem with that. And in fact, I'm going to learn more Spanish by watching him fucking do it and be like, now I know what that phrase means. And when I hear that, I'll fucking know. So we're missing out on opportunities here, man.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like I was watching, not to deviate, but I've been watching MasterChef this last week, just catching up on that from a couple seasons. And they in their 10th season, they got the Iron Chef guy on, Morimoto.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, man, if they're cooking for that guy, does anybody know basic Japanese just so they could bow and say thank you, or say something like be respectful.
Arigato, yeah.
Nobody did that. I was like,
arigato, like we say arigato.
Arigato-san. So yeah, nobody did that, and I was very disappointed. But this was a good like vignette package they have. Let me see if we've got a little bit here to play, like a couple seconds.
It's certainly a pleasure to speak to Andrade the Idol.
Andrade, el ídolo, sir. El ídolo.
You're a superstar. You can't go anywhere in the world, people don't know who you are. So my question to you is, why did you choose AEW now?
For many reasons. Here, many talent, many stars.
Yeah, he speaks pretty good English. So and they had the subtitles.
I don't think he does, to be honest.
I understood it. Like I think he speaks pretty slow and concise.
I think if you were to fucking cover up the things, like it'd be tough to understand them.
I grew up in the hood, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, but my point was, I'm like, how do him and Charlotte connect? You know what I mean? If he has the language barrier, but that's interesting. So, yeah, man, he looks like a star in here, but you better build him the right way. Otherwise, he's just going to be another guy lost in the shuffle, man.
So following that here, we've got next matchup here. You mentioned it with Aubrey making her return to the ring. I mean, sorry, she's not in the match. It's Penelope Ford versus Julia Hart on AEW Dynamite. Now, I have, of course, not been watching Dark like yourself. I did not know that Julia Hart has joined up with the Varsity Blondes. Thought that was cool, little gimmick. I'm like, oh, they got a cheerleader now. I was like, I like it.
It was smart because she was by herself and she was too green. And they needed something, and they're young, and that's just great young energy, and they're all blonde, cute as fuck, and instant baby face. You know what I mean? The shit works, and you could even turn a team like that heel down the road to be like, we're better than you, the snobby varsity
jocks. Yeah, the asshole jocks. Yeah, turn that chick into mean girl status, whatever later.
But that's the thing. But right now, she's as much as she's cute as a button. As a freshman, you know what I mean? Wait till they're juniors and seniors and get senioritis, and then you fucking play that whole story out.
You be playing this like I just want 4 years of the Varsity Blondes, freshman to sophomores. You know, they break up at the end. They all go to college.
They all go.
Well, Penelope Ford, she looked really well in this match. In fact, as the match ended, I wonder if Ben likes this visual over Rusev's camel clutch, because I like how Penelope Ford got into that bridge, and the camera was able to get up right on both faces. I thought that was
Indian Deathlock. Well, I was impressed with that because throughout the rest of the match, they were out of position for TV for how to shoot, which ends in some cheeky shots, which I'm fine with that. But fucking, they knew where they needed to be on the finish for the beauty shot, and I felt them get into position for it. And it's fine the way she did it and took her time. This match was at half speed. Both these girls are super green, probably even shouldn't be on TV. They have great looks for TV, but that's the problem. People want to see young, attractive people, but the young, attractive people don't know how to do this business at the full capacity yet. It's not until they become grizzled and chiseled down the road and they're not cute things anymore when they truly understand it. So, like, you have to ask yourself, do I want green people who look great? Or do I want fucking veterans who are going to fucking not be able to pull off the varsity gimmick? You know what I mean? So they went this way, and this match was simple enough, and it worked, and they took care of each other. I don't know what jumping in the air, doing splits, and smashing your crotch into the mat has to do with wrestling, but
everything.
If you're going to do it as a finish, or do it as a whatever, like the cheerleader puts her leg up and catches her foot, and then you drop it like a fucking guillotine, you know what I mean? Something along those lines. I don't know how safe that is for your knee, but if you feel comfortable doing it and you can deliver it safely, so be it. But no, this is, if somebody was tuning in and didn't know shit, by looking at these two different sides, you know who was who right here. And a submission is a heel victory, and the heel went over with a heel victory. I like it.
Yeah, at some point, I mean, maybe this match wouldn't have been appropriate for it, but I'd like to see with Julia playing into the varsity gimmick if she just gets the guys to throw her up like a cheerleader, and that's how she does her move or something.
They should be practicing the stunting and all that. They should get to the ring and do the lift where she's standing on her shoulder in a pyramid like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. A team like that is what we see in wrestling, gets over in their entrance by doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? Right. And I would go back and watch all the fucking Spirit Squad stuff. I would watch the original Varsity Club and see where we can take and reinvent things. They should be watching all the 80s fucking high school movies, from Revenge of the Nerds to even fucking Animal House and things along those lines, man. They need to watch all those because they can pull inspiration from those characters. Absolutely.
And if they want to just be, maybe if they can't relate to that, you can even watch some movies like Bring It On or something like that. There's a lot of
all that should be in there. The dated stuff and the new stuff. Everything old is new again. How can we make it look? What else? Drumline. I mean, I'm dating myself with the 80s movies, but there's a bunch that came through that have bits that are already made for you that you can pull from and reinvent for yourself.
Well, moving on here, we had Miro afterwards. He came down to the ring and attacked Griff Garrison. Brian Pillman Jr. then wiped out Miro with the flying clothesline, and then referees broke this up. I didn't like, don't get me wrong, I like Brian Pillman Jr., but I don't feel like he should be on par in a brawl with Miro. Right? Like if Brian Pillman Jr. is going to get over on Miro, it's got to be kind of in the sense where he gets lucky or he gets, he
shouldn't get over on Miro.
Right. I meant like the momentum itself. Maybe he's jumping off something toe to toe, though. He shouldn't be going with Miro.
No. Well, he shouldn't be chicken shit either.
Right.
Like if you're going to go out there in a football game and we got to face, I'm not
hating on that.
No, but like you still got to go and knuckle up on the line is my point. Like you look at Crosby like you're in the championship game and you never face that team in your conference and they're bigger and they're badder and you're like, fuck, we're going to get our ass kicked, but we still got to go out. We can't just be like, nah, we're getting back on the bus, So he's got to dig deep, even if he's going to take that ass whipping. That's going to get him over of like, I got to get back up until the point that he finally can't. That's the difference between football and wrestling though. Right. So, but it's got to be that same universal sports attitude of the boys is the hardest fucking game we've ever fucking taken. And we're going to go out there and who knows what's going to happen, but we got to make everything work for us. So, and if we line up tonight, we just might beat this motherfucker. You know what I mean? It needs to have that feeling. And in fact, who is the coach that delivers that speech to the varsity team? To me, that's a Tommy Dreamer type character. I think you can get Jerry Lynn to do it.
Jerry Lynn.
Yeah, it needs to be somebody along those lines. And there's plenty of guys there that can deliver it. Dustin could deliver that. But he's kind of working with the girls and doing his character. But there's opportunity there to make a mentor coach figure.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I like the Justin. No, I like a couple. I don't know. Bring in Scott Steiner. That'd be fun too. Make him the mentor.
He pull focus. He pulled too much focus.
Well, we came up to there was a backstage segment here with Frankie Kazarian, Eddie Kingston, and Penta before their match, and so this is what I was looking at. I was looking at Frankie Kazarian's sweater, and in the corner, I believe it says FBI, and then it says Kaz, right? But the font that's used for it, if you're high or drunk or you're not looking at it, it kind of looks like it says fag. And I hate to say that, but as I'm looking at it, I'm like, does that say fag on his shirt? And then I had to really look at it and sound out and try to decipher the text.
Well, I missed that totally. I wasn't paying because he started quoting the Bible.
Yes.
He's be the elite hunter and stuff. I'm like, this isn't how you get Kazarian over, because he was fucking awesome in the match, dude. I put Kazarian in a top 5 level, man. I put him up there with fucking in ring with Orton, Dolph Ziggler, him. Drew's good, but he's good in a different way than those guys are. Bobby Roode. There's not many guys that because those guys have been doing this for 20 years now. And that's what I'm talking about you couldn't have those guys go play the varsity club. You know what I mean? So what do you do? But if he's the elite hunter, I love that gimmick, being a hunter. What does hunting mean? It means patience. It means skill in setting up in a kill zone where your fucking your animal's going to be crossing. There's a high probability to take them out. There's spot and stalk. Like, I just named 3 things that could give you 3 months of TV. Each one of those, you know what I mean?
He shouldn't even come out to the ring with them. Like, he should have come somewhere else during the match or something like that.
You got it, dude. Like, even afterwards, if they're doing something, one guy has to powder and get out. That's when his back is turned. That's when you fucking lay it like Cat Kazarian, as a babyface, can get heel heat on a heel and get over because he was lying in wait at the right fucking thing to get him. You know what I mean? So
the segments you're laying out are thinking too from a production standpoint story. You could have him lying in wait as the camera guy. Then he's the chef guy somewhere. 100%. Then the taxi cab driver that pops up. What's up, boys? You know, there's tons of different things, right? You could do with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And spot and stalk, somebody's just paranoid that somebody's watching them all the time, but you never see him. And then after they leave the scene, fucking, he's camouflaged in a fucking, to be whatever, in a curtain or whatever. He's fully camo. Yeah, like, it doesn't need to be the ghillie suit, but it could be face painting, so he fucking fits into a wall. You know what I mean? Along those lines, like. But instead, we're getting Bible verses, bro. And strange homoerotic clothing, so like this guy's got, and he can do it all in the ring. That's the thing. So the character, to me, the in-ring shit, I'd be like, bro, you know what you got to do. Like, this is how we need you to wrestle. Go put it together. You're brilliant. But what they need to do character wise is a lot more development to get that. That's a cool moniker. And if they're not going to do nothing with it, that's a waste.
Well, so
shout out to Media M5, and our own The Vet was checking in to check on Silvio, who's feeling a little under the weather today. So let him fucking go poolside and get some vitamin D, maybe some vitamin T, and hang out, man. So, but good to see you guys hanging out with us. 14 strong as we're banned from Ben Hamin YouTube channel this week.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's all right. Twitch.tv/Hamin Media and Hamin Media Group YouTube for now.
So, yes, we come up next here with the main event, Frankie Kazarian, Eddie Kingston, and Penta El Zero Miedo versus Nick Jackson, Doc Gallows, and Carl Anderson on Dynamite. That's the main event here. It was a 3-on-3 match. Ultimately, in the end, we had the I think it was the Elite that went out, right? Results, Matt Jackson.
How do you feel about, and I don't mind it for heels that are kind of clowny, especially with the Bucks, but how do you feel about douche dressing?
Douche dressing.
Whether it's Seth Rollins in these douche suits, whether it's Good Brothers kind of coming out, it's like everybody's trying to be the Freebirds. Like, how do you feel about guys wearing things to the ring that like they'd never wear in real life anywhere? You know what I mean? I can't say shit because I'm wearing chic boots and stuff, but like the whole let's dress like an 80s asshole that's been in wrestling forever. You know what I mean? Like, we're all going to be on the Quiet Riot video set or some shit. Like, the douche dressing is a weird phenomenon to me. I don't have to take part. I don't have to partake in it. And I'm glad for.
I think that it depends on the character, because you mentioned Seth Rollins. I kind of like his douche little look. I believe that Seth Rollins is a douche and that he would wear that in public. Like, he just has that kind of douchey, kind of millennial look. So I think it works for him. The Young Bucks, I think. It doesn't work as much for them anymore because you've watched their career progress.
But it worked for Nick at the end. For me, with Nick at the end, it worked. And for Seth, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't.
I would say so. It depends. Because there's been a couple times with the Hawaiian shirts and stuff like that I've seen Nick wear. I'm like, oh, I kind of like that. Like, he's kind of acting like that douchey kind of heel vibe. But I think I would have rather seen them go more like tight fitted jeans, club look, maybe like a Evolve type of ritzy club kind of look. Does that make sense? Like,
not to me. It's jumped the shark on me. So I'm just wondering if like the parody of what a wrestler should look like. Like, I see Pete Dunne coming out in sleeveless fur fucking jackets. I'm like, dude, the dudes looking like they're in the Matrix and shit. Like, look what Miz and them wear. Like, it's just weird to me. To sometimes maybe it works and maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
I'm not suggesting that they, culturally appropriate, but if the Young Bucks were, looking like, they were going to the club, like they were going to the club dressed up, like looking fly, I think that might work for them because they've got all that money and that's kind of the image they're trying to portray, buying the Jordans and whatnot. I think that would work well. But it kind of clashes when you're like, I'm going to buy these $30,000 Jordans, but then I'm going to wear this douchey Hawaiian shirt and all that stuff with you. You're like, that's kind of a weird character mix there.
I get it, man. I'm just putting it out there. Maybe it's a different look than what Hamin feels about it as well.
Yeah,
hit us up at Hamin Media Group. What do you think about dressing like a douche?
With the Miz though, like I'm okay with, because if you go all the way back those stupid Real World shows, he's always been dressing like a douche. So
he can pull it off.
He can pull it off. Yeah, exactly. So we come up to the end of the match here as Carl Anderson took to the top rope, hit the cutter on a blind and penna and pinned him, and they got the win for the Elite. I think I got like 10 seconds here. See if I got this. Is it gonna? Nope, it's not gonna work. Well, anyway, that's the end of the show.
There was one like in this match, like there was a lot of good stuff in this match. Gallows, man, he's pretty damn good. Like the way he sells for a big man and fucking, it's just more believable than a lot of guys. And Carl Anderson was on his game tonight. When he's on his game, he could be in that Kaz level someday, you know what I mean? Like when he's really hitting, it's there. But I had a big problem with this too, of like strikes, man. Fucking, it's and I respect all these guys in this match because they do a lot of shit I'll never do. But fucking, it was Matt Jackson with Kingston.
Right.
And fucking he's punching him in the face with fucking right hooks to the head. And Kingston just fucking stares him down and shakes it off. Like 4 right hooks to the fucking head. Dude, why are we burying punches? Then Kingston stands up and is hulked up, fires back one on him, and then Kingston goes to chops. Dude, punches are here, chops are below punches. Right? Because it's not as believable. So we just killed all of our believability. Because Matt, if I fucking, you just looked at me and you let me hook you in the head, are you gonna fucking shake it off and look right back at me again? No, you're either gonna be half knocked out, selling away, going, dude, why'd you fucking hit me? Or if we're really in a fight, you're gonna be rocked and fucking trying to get ready for the next one. You know what I mean? Of what's coming to defend yourself. Instead, we get a Hogan Hulk up moment and blow the believability of punches. These guys are way too high on the card and way too high of players to be making bad moves like that, dude. Like, it's small. Maybe the crowd is into it and I'm fucking wrong because they don't know. But if we take those kind of moments out of our matches that are already really good matches in a weird, shitty 6 that we're together, that's going to be that much better. Nick coming out of nowhere was very much like the things that I was talking about Kaz needs to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to cause a finish, to fucking get heat on an elite member. So maybe if they set that up this week and Nick, they look like they're going to run that play next week. Here comes Nick Jackson. Kaz out of nowhere cuts him off on what's supposed to be the fuck. You know what I mean? So there's interesting possibilities. Will they raise the game and ratchet it up? I hope so, because all those guys in there are more than competent enough to come up with this if I am. But things like that with punch me in the face and I'm not even registering, like not even going against the ropes to come back for another one while I hold my jaw. I don't like that shit. And whether that's Japanese wrong style or whatever, man, that type of shit's just not believable because it kills the believability of everything else when you do that. People have, not everyone's been punched in the face before, but plenty of people have. You don't stand in the pocket and wait for 3 more without unanswered full right hooks to the jaw. Okay.
Hold on, dude. Wait, hold on, dude. Wait, hold on, please.
Yeah. So, that's just what we need to do to take care of our art a little bit more. But aside from that, dude, that's so nitpicky. Pentagon was fucking great in this. I like the shoulder block story, even though it was kind of interesting because I've told this where it's Kingston off the ropes, hits fucking Big LG. Off the ropes, hits Big LG. And then usually it'd be Duck one, come off the ropes, flying shoulder block. But he went over to the corner, got on the second and gave it, which kind of interrupted the rhythm of boom, boom, whoa, boom. And to go over there because we're used to going laterally and horizontally and fucking, in between the ropes. So it kind of threw me, but it worked. So again, these are tiny nitpick things where I'm like, oh, I do that spot, but that was a little different in the rhythm than I do it. I don't know if I like it or not. So, because I've been in a lot of shitty sixes, bro, a lot. So, and I'll be in more.
Good looking sling blade there.
Sling blades all over. That's the clip I had. That's what I took. Lots of sling blades.
Some people call it a Kaiser blade. I call it a sling blade.
I like me some mashed potatoes.
Yeah, right, tater.
You shouldn't have done that. He's just a boy.
I have that from Cartman.
You shouldn't have done that. He's just a boy. Poor little
I don't know if I've ever heard that. That's fucking great.
So, guys, that's another edition of Light the Fuse right here on Hamin Media Group. Of course, we are transitioning over to the Realm Network, which we're excited about here, lining up everything. And if you haven't heard,
Suck my balls.
I'm the host of that. Is going to be on the Realm Network as well. Suck My Balls South Park Review. I'm the host. So I'm the host of that along with my buddy Joe and Scoop. So you can follow us on Twitter at Suck My Balls Pod, on Instagram at Suck My Balls Pod, and on Facebook at South Park Pod. Drop us an email at suckmyballspod@gmail.com. We'll interact with you, read your email on the show. We, of course, are sponsored by ZourdosOliveOil.com. Get the finest Greek artisan olive oil to take care of all of your cooking needs. And I'm going to have to pick up some more here because I've been getting a little bit more healthier as the summers come around and get buying the veggies and everything. So I need some good oil to fry up all my food. So I'm definitely going to pick myself up a bottle of Zourdo's olive oil. Also, I'm sipping down that Broaster's coffee, the Russo Bro coffee. If you go to thebroasters.com, pick up your bag of Russo Bro coffee, use the code 5LB, save some money on your coffee, bro. Of course, you can check out as we've been playing.
Right now they gotta actually get the Russo brand for sure because that helps us out. But if you want to double up, they got limited edition as well, bourbon barrel coffee that they just released. So if you're into that kind of stuff too, get the Russo Bro and get the bourbon barrel. Do a little taste test side by side. Make a video for us. We'd love to see it.
Of course, you can check out Rode.com/Rodecaster Pro or just get a Rodecaster Pro anywhere that electronics are sold.
Don't tell me what to do.
Right.
And maybe we better do a towel call.
So, yes, you can go to Rode.com, Rodecaster Pro. Obviously, they've been sponsoring us. They send us some free ones all year long. So we appreciate that. And you can also, of course, check out ProWrestlingTees.com for Ben Hamin, BWO Stevie, SEG shirts for Big Sal, as well as superstar Chris Silvio and the Greek god Papa Don. Now, there's a rumor, there's some rumblings. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you an update. I'm going to stooge something off. There's rumblings that there may be a resurrection of some sort when it comes to some horsemen. Is that in the works, Mr. Hamin?
You never know, man. When the stars align, we're in retrograde right now. You know, the planets are going in reverse order, and time warp is open. Let's do the time warp again. The portals and the black holes and everything that else we got going on, man. There's big things in the works, you know.
Well, you guys are on YouTube right now, so hit the playlist. We've got 150 episodes up there of the Conspiracy Horsemen, and you never know when they're going to make their return. Might be on patreon.com/Hamin Media Group. Might be on the Realm Network. Might be something else. They might never come back. It might have been all a dream.
It was a dream.
You could be Mandela'd right now, but when the signal flare goes off, be ready and raring. Because in 5 days, Ben, I'm hoping we'll definitely get some breakdown from you. They're disclosing it. The aliens are coming. They're going to tell us what's happened. Apparently.
They're already here. They're not coming. They're already here, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, you covered it, man. What a great go-home plug. Appreciate you, MSG. We missed you, Big Sil. And Genocide, always welcome with the run-in, but I know they've been going real hard with the training, so we'll give them a day off here on Father's Day. Everybody listening at home, if you're listening live with us at twitch.tv/Hamin Media, Hamin Media Group YouTube, until we get go back live on the Ben Hamin channel and continue to build things out and get solutions at Realm all figured out. We appreciate you hanging with us on Light the Fuse. I think I was constructive and not a angry way today. I think I've made personal growth.
I think somebody who does make good constructive criticism that's a little bit more blunt than you is if you go to patreon.com/Hamin Media Group, sign up for the FR Rip Rogers podcast.
Oh yes.
And he'll definitely be constructive for you. Or you can go to patreon.com/Stevie Ray TV, or even right now on YouTube. I put up some clips this week of the roundtable discussion on Black privilege. So
on Juneteenth, if you're celebrating Juneteenth, really high level discussion about racial awareness in this current 2021 vibe, man.
Patreon.com/The A Show for Aaron Stevens, aka Aaron Idol, of course, with April Hunter. You can also go to patreon.com/The Beautiful People, aka Miss Cinnabuns herself with Velvet Sky and Angelina, because she got sponsored. Follow her on Twitter. And of course, you can also check out patreon.com/The Big Vito Brand, patreon.com/Larry Hankin Stories.
We're just waiting. I'm waiting on some new original music from Larry Hankin's composers. Get some new stuff up there. So, but yeah, man, BPs are kicking ass as well.
Patreon.com/Goldilocks.
Oh yeah, and on Big Vito Brand too. People are a lot of guests coming up this week over there, man. So everything on Patreon is going insane. And Vince was hitting me up about some new comedy ones, possibly with some Howard Stern people. So pretty interesting time.
My balls, let's do it.
Yeah, man. Well, I just got to shape it out and have the meetings to be like, what is the actual piece of art look like?
Why am I not picking you more? I should be having you send me all this, like the C level and B level comedians who are like.
That will be happening soon.
All right, good.
That'll be happening very soon, because that's the reality of me. And I'm not trying to belittle anything. We have such a great team here at HMG to be like, okay, now I need to set this producer up who's more than ready to do this, and I have to be more the facilitator instead of me editing, because otherwise that's going to be a surefire way for failure. There's not enough hours in the day and not enough computing power to go around, but there's plenty of hungry producer talent with the time, and it's just about trusting them with high name stars. And being a talent handler is a fucking art unto itself, let alone producing a show and getting everything else done graphics wise, yada yada yada.
I'll tell you what, the editing part, once you know how to do that part's the easier part when it comes to talent handling.
You've done well, my son.
Oh, thank you.
All right, but all the dads out there, raise a glass, whoop that ass, put your feet up, and make them go out and mow the lawn. It's Hacker Hamin, it's MSG, it's Light the Fuse. YOLO. You better make sure.
Go home and get your fucking shine box. Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
First of all, don't tell me what to do.